Sourav Ganguly is arguably one of the best, if not the best, captains of Indian cricket. He has had a great career, he has had a great captaincy, he led India to the final of the 2003 World Cup. He has a lot of great achievements, but his fall and his departure from the Indian cricket team was not full of grace as the rest of his career was, and it was not something that the fans of Indian cricket would have liked to see in the way that it played out. So today in this new episode of What Went Wrong, we're going to take a look at Sourav Ganguly, his rise in the ranks of Indian cricket, his handling of the Indian cricket team in the midst of the corruption scandal, the match fixing scandal that gulped Indian cricket in 1999, his rise as the best captains of the Indian cricket team, and his eventual fight with Gregg Chappell, controversies and the way he departed from the Indian cricket team, and again his rise as the president of the BCCI. This is going to be one of the most interesting episodes in this series, so make sure you stay till the end. Leave a comment to increase engagement on this channel because the YouTube algorithm likes it, about who your favorite captain in the Indian cricket team is. As always, you can check out the other episodes from the playlist and the link in the description and the cards. So the rise and fall and rise of Sourav Ganguly in this new episode of What Went Wrong. Let's begin. This video will be divided into 4 parts. Part 1 will deal with Sourav Ganguly's entry into the Indian cricket team, how he became the captain. Part 2 will actually deal with how Sourav Ganguly captained the Indian team, how he changed the perception of the Indian cricket team and led us to some really great victories. Part 3 will focus on his fallout with Gregg Chappell, his departure from the Indian cricket team, his failure in the IPL, and finally Part 4, the concluding part, will talk about what all Sourav Ganguly has done after leaving cricket and how he became the president of the BCCI. So the first part actually talks about how Sourav Ganguly came into the Indian cricket team. He made his debut in 1995 and scored the century in the very first game that he played. Sourav Ganguly impressed all of the cricket viewers. Sourav Ganguly's offside stroke play was one of the best that the game has ever seen. And Sourav Ganguly soon became a very integral part of the Indian middle order, and all of the cricket pundits and the experts gave him adjectives such as the god of the offside. But it was only after the latter half of the 1990s where India's performance in the cricket field was not as good and the match fixing scandal took the Indian cricket team by storm. The match fixing scandal was one of the biggest controversies and the biggest reveals in Indian cricket, and the current skipper and the captain Mohammad Azharuddin and a lot of other talented players had to leave the team because of their involvement in the match fixing scandal. At that time, Sourav Ganguly was not one of the best players in the team, nor was he one of the senior most player, but because Sachin Tendulkar, who was appointed as the captain, had decided to step down to take care of his health, Sourav Ganguly was asked to take over the captaincy of the Indian cricket team. It was in the September of 1999 when Sourav Ganguly captained the Indian cricket team for the first time, and in February 2000 when Sachin Tendulkar announces that he will step down as the captain, the selectors named Sourav Ganguly as the captain for the ODI cricket side, and he became the full-time captain of India and won his first ODI series against South Africa by 3-2 margin in 2000. At this point, it is anyone's guess whether Sourav Ganguly even wanted to be the captain of the Indian cricket team, but the situation was such that he became the captain of the team at a time when the Indian cricket was looked down upon by the fans and the world of cricket very badly. Which brings us to part 2 about how Sourav Ganguly captained the Indian cricket team into one of the most glorious periods of Indian cricket. Ask any Indian cricket fan about the best cricketing moments or best achievements from Indian cricket in the early part of 2000s, and you will easily be given some of the most iconic moments of Indian cricket. The win in the Natwest Trophy final against England, the Kolkata test against the winning Australian team, fighting their way onto the finals of the Cricket World Cup, winning the Champions Trophy, winning the test series in Pakistan, winning the test in Australia, drawing a test series in Australia. All of these moments were there because of Sourav Ganguly's tenure as the captain. Sourav Ganguly, when he was appointed as the captain of the Indian cricket team, he rose to the occasion and he proved to be a tough nut because of his fighting capabilities and his aggressive style of captaincy. Sourav Ganguly has been regarded as being responsible for backing youngsters like Harbhajan Singh, Zaheer Khan, and fighting for their inclusion in the team. Many of Indian cricket legends like Virendra Sehwag, Harbhajan Singh, Zaheer Khan and Irfan Pathan, and amongst a lot of others, developed under Sourav Ganguly's tutelage. It was because of Sourav Ganguly's captaincy style and his team management style that Indian cricket started to get back on track. They started winning test matches overseas on a regular basis. And even though Sourav Ganguly's personal contribution in terms of runs and wickets in most of those victories can be considered questionable because his batting average did drop down after he became captain, there's no denying that Sourav Ganguly's style of aggressive captaincy did push the team and gave the team a fighting chance in a lot of competitions and a lot of matches. Before Sourav Ganguly was the captain of the Indian cricket team were accused of lacking the killer instinct and being very excellent in losing matches from a position that they could have won easily. The most impactful moment and something that judgmentally cemented Sourav Ganguly as one of the best Indian captains was when he was responsible for stopping the Australian team from winning 17 test matches on a trot. The Kolkata test in 2001 will always remain etched in the mind for the simple fact that India won the match after being asked to follow on, and it will be remembered for VVS Lakshman's extraordinary inning and Rahul Dravid's extraordinary innings as well. But it cannot be denied that Sourav Ganguly must have had a great role to play in motivating the team through a tough game. Add to this another iconic image of Sourav Ganguly taking off his t-shirt and waving in the air after India had successfully won the Natwest Trophy against England, and you can see why Sourav Ganguly has given such incredible moments to the fans of Indian cricket during his tenure as the Indian cricket team captain. This moment also became important because India was coming to this series after having lost 9 finals in the row, but Sourav Ganguly's moment is etched into the minds of Indian cricketers and Indian fans as one of the most iconic moments in the Indian cricket team. Of course, India happened to lose the 2003 World Cup in the finals, but it still goes on to show the fact that the team was managed well by Ganguly, and the current team did win a lot of great moments at coming up from a time when India was regarded as one of the worst teams, as a shadow of their potential. Sourav Ganguly did play a huge hand, and the country regards it such that Sourav Ganguly was responsible for shaping one of the best Indian cricket teams. There are some other moments that can be added into this list, such as the India's win in Pakistan in the ODI series during the 2014, drawing the test series in Australia. And while you can regard that as the performance from the team, Sourav Ganguly as the captain will always take the cake for leading the team to such incredible victories. But all of this brings us to the future, when the Indian cricket team coach at the time, John Wright, had to complete his tenure, and it was the appointment of Gregg Chappell that changed everything for Sourav Ganguly. Which brings us to the part 3 of this journey of Sourav Ganguly. The Sourav Ganguly and Gregg Chappell controversy is one of the ugliest parts in Indian cricket. It occurred in late 2005 and early 2006 because the head coach, the newly appointed coach of Indian cricket, Gregg Chappell, and Sourav Ganguly publicly fought. And the conclusion of this saga was that Sourav Ganguly was removed as the captain, Rahul Dravid was appointed as the vice captain, and Sourav Ganguly was dropped from the ODI and Test team by the end of January 2006. This dispute stirred up a lot of strong emotions in India. Kolkata was a fiery protest when Sourav Ganguly was announced that he was being dropped. There were speeches in the parliament, and even Ganguly, eventually, while he was recalled to both the teams in late 2006, after he got back his form by playing the domestic teams, he was even selected as the part of the 2007 World Cup team, but the controversy still marked the beginning of the end for Sourav Ganguly's career. But before we get into the controversy, it is also important to understand that before Gregg Chappell's announcement, Sourav Ganguly was facing a form decline in the previous 2 years. And after Sourav Ganguly's form was being questioned, it was no surprise that Gregg Chappell came out and told it very specifically to the team that the team selection would be depending on the survival of the fittest, and those people who were in the team at the time, because of their past records, including Sourav Ganguly, might not make it into the final team. It all went down during 2005 in an Indian tour to Zimbabwe, when Sourav Ganguly leaked to the media what was supposed to be a closed-door interview with Chappell, and he suggested that Ganguly should take a break and find back his form. This created a roar in India, where even some former cricketers tried to give it a racial twist of accusing Gregg Chappell of not gelling with the Indian team and looking down with some of the members. This explosion was followed by the infamous email leak from Jagmohan Dalia All of this started a very public opinionated fight, and even 48 hours after Greg Chappell tells the media that he respects Indian cricket team captain Sourav Ganguly and he looks forward to work with him in the future, he sent an email to BCCI where he essentially fires down on BCCI, and that email got leaked. And Ganguly is eventually dropped from the team. He is removed as the captain, and Rahul Dravid becomes the captain of the Indian cricket team. Eventually, the end of this saga was when Sourav Ganguly was dropped from the team for a brief period, and he gained back his form by participating in domestic tournaments, and in 2007 he remained and appeared with great numbers in 2007. But the end of Sourav Ganguly's reign as the captain, a 5-year journey that brought such highs to the Indian cricket team, was coming to an end at a very sad and a very unfortunate public disposal. And even though ultimately when Sourav Ganguly managed to play cricket for India for a few more years, his form and his uproar in the team or his charisma in the team would never be the same. Sourav Ganguly even led the Kolkata Knight Riders in IPL for a few years before he was ultimately removed as captain after the 3rd season in the team as well. And finally, Sourav Ganguly retired from international cricket after the 4-test series against Australia in 2008. One of the moments that still remains as the favourite in the Indian cricket team was when, as this final match, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the then Indian team captain, gave Sourav Ganguly the opportunity to lead the team for a final time. And it was finally in 2012 that Sourav Ganguly retired from all competitive cricket games. Which brings us to the 4th part of the video, which is the aftermath of his cricketing career and how he became the president of BCCI. Sourav Ganguly became the president of the Cricket Association of Bengal in 2015 and went on to serve that position for 4 years, when in 2019 he finally became the president of BCCI and established a firm control on the day-to-day happenings of the board. A lot of this can also be devoted to the problems that were surrounding BCCI during the past 4 years and the outline given to the board by the Supreme Court to change the administrative structure. But ultimately, Sourav Ganguly did come to a pinnacle position in the Indian cricket. It cannot be denied that Sourav Ganguly has left a legacy in the Indian cricket team. His influence on the younger generation that was up and coming is widely regarded as one of the best finds in Indian cricket. And while Sourav Ganguly's record as the captain of Indian cricket team and his individual record as an Indian cricketer still remain as one of the best, his methods, his captaincy and his coaching methods did come under immense scrutiny from the press and other cricket scholars. But ultimately, as and when Sourav Ganguly's name will be taken in regards to Indian cricket, it will always be as one of the best captains that India has ever produced, who changed the way Indian team plays cricket and who brought India back from a disgraceful event and in such a great manner. And that's it for this video. This was the story of Sourav Ganguly, his rise and fall in terms of Indian cricket, and a person who is regarded as one of the best captains of Indian cricket team. I think he has done enough in terms of leaving behind a legacy that everyone can happily remember. And thank you so much for watching this video till the end. There are more episodes in the What Went Wrong series that you can check out from the link in the description and the cards. So make sure you leave a like, a comment and subscribe so that you do not miss out a new episode every week. And again, thank you so much for watching it till the end. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.